Good morning, students. Welcome back to your social science class. Students, in previous lecture, we discussed a simple definition of democracy that the democracy is a form of government in which the rulers are elected by the people. Let's first analyze the word rulers. Pakistan had a democratically elected government till October 1999 when General Pervez Musharraf led a military coup. A coup is a forcible removal of existing government from power through violent means. In a coup, it is the military, paramilitary, or opposite political party that removes the current government and takes over the power. After the coup of 1999, the General Pervez Musharraf declared himself the chief executive of the country. Later, he changed his designation to president. In 2002, he held a referendum that granted him a 5-year extension. However, it was said that referendum was based on fraud. A referendum is a direct vote in which an entire electorate is asked to either accept or reject a particular proposal. To further strengthen his powers, Musharraf amended the constitution of Pakistan. He did it by issuing legal framework order that gave president the authority to dismiss the national or provincial assemblies. Elections were held to national and the state assemblies. In this way, Pakistan had elected representatives with some powers. However, the work of the civilian cabinet was supervised by National Security Council, dominated by military officers. The military officers and Musharraf himself had the power to override any decision made by civilian cabinet. Thus, the elected representatives were not the real rulers of Pakistan. Similarly, many dictatorships and monarchies have an elected parliament and government, but the power is really in the hands of those people who are not elected. The power in USSR, in communist Poland, and that of the US in contemporary Iraq, here power vested in another countries in these cases. Therefore, these cannot be regarded as people's rule or democracies. From all these examples, it is clear that in democracy, the elected representatives of the people should have the final decision making power. That is the first feature of democracy. Let's move on to the next feature, that is election. Here, we will analyze the example of a country where elections are held regularly, China. China has elections after every 5 years. Every time the people elect country's parliament called Chungao Renmin Dabiai Dahui, means National People Congress. This parliament has almost 3,000 people from various parts of the China and holds power to appoint the president of the country. Some members are elected by the army. So far, it sounds like a democracy. However, not everyone can contest in elections. Every candidate before contesting needs to be approved by the Chinese Communist Party. In 2002-3, to contest elections, the candidate needed to be member of the Chinese Communist Party or one of the 8 smaller parties allied to it. As a result, Communist Party always won the elections. Similarly, every 6 years interval, in Mexico holds elections to elect the president. Until 2000, every election was won by the party called PRI, or the Institutional Revolutionary Party. This was not because PRI was the most popular party, but PRI won by using a number of dirty tricks. For example, all the government employees, the teachers, and the parents of the students of government schools were compelled to attend the meetings of PRI and vote for them. The media was also controlled by PRI. The reporting activities of opposite party were only to criticize them. The PRI even shifted polling booths and used large amount of money in campaign of its candidates. So, in fact, though Mexico has never been under military or dictators, but Mexican didn't have really a proper choice in electing their representatives. Neither of these cases we just have examined can be considered as examples of people electing their rulers. The foundation of democracy is free and fair elections, in which a ruling party has fair chances of losing. That is the second feature of democracy. Let's move on to third, or the most important keyword, people. Even today, there are many places where the equal right of vote is denied. We look at some examples. Here are the first example is the Saudi Arabia, where women were not allowed to vote till 2015. Another example is Estonia, where the citizenship rule make it difficult for people to gain the right to vote. Finally, let's look at Fiji, where electoral system give more value to the vote of the indigenous Fiji as compared to Indian Fijian. These countries cannot really be qualified for democracies because political equality of citizens is lacking. Thus, in a democracy, all adults who are citizens of the country should be allowed to vote. Each vote have an equal value. What happens if popular government turns to be undemocratic? It is possible to popular leaders to be autocratic, as well as we have seen in a number of case studies. Let's take an example of Zimbabwe. Zimbabwe was under white minority rule till independence in 1980. Zimbabwe African National Union Patriotic Front, ZANU-PF, the party that led the freedom struggle has ruled Zimbabwe since then. The leader of the Patriotic Front is Robert Mugabe, who changed the constitution, banned protests, harassed the opposition, controlled the media, and influenced the judiciary. Thus, the elections were held regularly. They were always won by Patriotic Front. Elections were always won by patriotic fronts. Clearly, the popular approval of the ruler is not necessary in a democracy, but it is not enough to recognize a country as a democracy. In a democracy, before elections, adequate room is needed to given to the other political parties. Citizens should be free to think and form their opinion. They should be able to express their opinions publicly, form associations, and take their actions. Additionally, equal rights should be applied to everyone equally. Finally, there should be independent judiciary to protect the rights of the citizens without any political pressure. Now, let's consider the conditions that apply to the way a government is run after elections. A democratic government cannot do whatever it likes. The government in power needs to respect and honor guarantees to the minority. Additionally, major decisions cannot be taken without going through consultations at every step. All offices, all office bearers are assigned certain rights and responsibilities by the Constitution as well as the law. They are accountable for fulfilling their responsibilities to the public as well as to the other independent officials. Thus, we can say that the democratic government rules within the limits set by the Constitution, and the citizens' right. That is the fourth and the final feature of democracy. Fourth feature is the democratic government rules within the limits set by the constitutional laws and citizens' rights. Students, today we learn about some features of the democracy. These features are: rulers elected by the people take all the major decisions. Elections offer a choice and fair opportunities to the people to change the current rulers. This choice and opportunity is available to all the people on the equal basis. And last one is the exercise of this choice leads to the government limited by the basic rules of the Constitution and citizens' rights. Students, that's all for today. Thank you so much for listening.